Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover campaign and basically talking a little bit about essentially the entire campaign and the rewards you can get. Now there's over 160 stones in this campaign, which is a decent chunk, but it's a very short one. It's only about 2 weeks long, so that makes it I'd say pretty brief but pretty fun. Obviously we have the login rewards, nothing too crazy there. We then have some special missions where you can obtain 10 dragon stones. Again, also nothing too crazy here. A lot of it revolving around essentially awakening the Toa from the story event and then using Dragon Ball Heroes characters in some teams. It's nothing too complex and most players should be able to complete this pretty easily. So super simple stuff so far, but then of course we also have some more content that's actually been added in. There's also some missions for Dokkan Awakening support to assist you if you are going to summon or you're looking to awaken the Vegito or the units that awaken from this Dokkan event. And the missions are relatively straightforward, like I said, so super simple stuff so far that's been added in with the celebration. Now in terms of the actual content that's been added in, there's been a fair chunk that's actually been added in, and it's important to take it on as quickly as possible because there are some time limits on it. So it gets locked away in a vault for a year, basically, the Super Dragon Ball Heroes stuff, so definitely would suggest looking at it. Obviously we've covered the missions and login bonuses. A new Dokkan event has been added in, of course, for the actual Vegito unit, and there's a new crossover summon stone and a new crossover event, which is pretty good stuff. Nothing too crazy, but still overall pretty good stuff. There's also a new damage based event, which I have already covered on the channel, and you can take a look there, along with also a new burst mode, which I have also covered. We also have some new Extreme Z areas and a new Extreme Z battle for a whole new batch of Dragon Ball Heroes units, alongside as well a very special Extreme Z Awakening banner for some of those older units as well. The burst mode, as mentioned, along with some new stages for the Super Dragon Ball Heroes Red Zone, have all been added in. The Super Dragon Ball Heroes Red Zone is not as hard as normal Red Zone traditionally, but we'll take a look at it and see how difficult it can be. And launch is guaranteed to appear during the Turtle School training event. Alongside that, all the previous Dragon Ball Heroes has all returned, and of course you can take it all on to obtain yourself some of the other crossover units and extremes awaken them. So yeah, pretty simple stuff so far. Honestly speaking, nothing too crazy and some pretty nice content. In terms of the challenge events, we have some actual pretty good stuff. 3 new Super Dragon or Red Zone stages is really cool, and some missions attached with them. It should keep people busy, even if they're not as hard as the other ones. We also have the new Extreme Z area, and we also have a new Extreme Z battle, so plenty of awakenings and units to try out and test in all of the various Red Zones and various content, which is really good stuff. I think it's quite exciting actually, so yeah, really awesome. Then we have, of course, the new kind of story events. Obviously these are tied to the Dragon Ball Heroes Edition Extreme Z area, so before you take on the Extreme Z area, it's important that you consider taking on the appropriate story events because they are going to be pretty important. And then we have the new burst mode, which I've already covered as well on the channel. If you need help there, I can leave you a link to the video. So pretty simple stuff actually. Then of course we also have the actual how can I say, Extreme Z battle events. This is the latest edition. I think it's edition 3, and it features basically a whole bunch of Extreme Z awakenings from that year of Dragon Ball Heroes, so pretty good stuff. Lots of prizes and rewards here as well, along with Dragon Stones, so definitely a great incentive to consider summoning, or at least awakening some of the older units. And we'll take a look at the Extreme Z Awakening banner as well as it's a bit different to usual ones. And then of course we have the new kind of nuking slash damage event, which is of course the request from the charismatic hero of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. And this is just kind of like a damage based event, but it's relatively easy, and I've already done a build on how to beat it, so you shouldn't have too hard a time. Alongside that, there was also another story event which allows us to get a Strength Toa, which is a new free-to-play unit to add to the batch of Super Dragon Ball Heroes ones. Traditionally, these are actually pretty good units, and I quite like them a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see just how good they all are in terms of performance, especially how Toa does. But yeah, that is basically kind of it for the celebration. Outside of that, of course, we have the actual banners to summon on, and a lot of the older content has come back. So if you're a new player who's never experienced any of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes content, there is absolutely plenty for you to do. So definitely give it a try and take a look. It's really honestly something interesting. And there's also a new Super Strike event that's been added in, which is for the Trunks. Although it wasn't up at the time, it is up now, so you can take a look there, as that's also a great source of stones, but also a pretty interesting unit. So yeah, that basically covers everything. Obviously outside of that, we do have mainly just the banners at this point, which players obviously can choose whether to summon on. I've already done a save or summon video, which you can obviously look at as well. I'll leave links to all these videos in the top right hand corner. There's also the Extreme Z Awakening banner, which we'll take a look at a bit later. But yeah, pretty solid stuff. But that's it. It's a very short but very cool celebration, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it even if you don't summon or do summon on the Super Dragon Ball Heroes banners. But yeah, that basically covers everything you need to know, and we will obviously discuss and take a look at some of the other content and do breakdowns on how best to beat it later on. But that's it from me. Bye.